Hey y'all, Mike here. It's been a month since I did part one of the no prune tomato, and I thought I'd give you an update. So it's been about a month. You can see there's no longer the tiny little tomato plants that I planted in the ground. What I did do though is, like I said I was going to do, I trimmed off and pruned off anything that was hanging below this bottom part of the fence, just for airflow, and make sure nothing gets touched on the ground so I don't get any kind of funguses or blights or what have you. Now, that's the only pruning I've done. Now, I do is I either clip them in or I put a string around them to hold them up. And there are a lot of flowers on these and quite a lot of tomatoes. I don't know how big they're going to get compared to the ones that I have underneath the egg fabric in my main garden, but they're pretty good size. And as you can see, we're getting lots of suckers, lots of buds. Now this plant's had some blossom drop. There's a few blossoms. See this? Two blossoms right here that dropped. I'm noticing that I'm getting more blossom drop on these than I do from the indeterminate tomatoes that I'm actually pruning in my main garden. And I got a little bit of blossom end rot, which I think is kind of surprising considering that hole was dug and filled with premium compost and rabbit manure. I did add some calcium nitrate on it, or calcium chloride, calcium chloride on it early. And then every Sunday now, for all my tomatoes and all my acorn squash, I mix a gallon of water with some calcium and some magnesium Epsom salt, and once a week I foliate these plants to make sure that doesn't happen to me anymore. You can see this one got some end rot on it too. Now I got some plants that don't have any end rot, blossom end rot. Okay, well, this one's got a tiny bit right here. But you can see, they're blooming real good. The first tomatoes came out of this are really well. There's no end rot on those. And they're good, I don't know, over 4 feet high. 4 feet high now. So far the test is going rather well. We'll see when they start ripening. I'm going to start weighing. I'm going to weigh each plant's tomato production, quantity and weight. I'm going to do the same thing for my in-ground bed over here and see how it goes. Now, a little bit of an update on the rest of the no dig. I planted some sweet potato slips, just tiny things. If you look at this, you can see this. They're taking off like crazy. And so I've planted another potato slip in this bed, just because, well, not a slip, just the end of the potato that was still left, and then it started growing slips. So I got more slips growing. I put straw mulch all the way around it, and I don't have to water it that often. These are Crimson Watermelon, Heritage brand. They're the round ones, not the oblong ones. And I put landscape fabric down to help hold moisture in. Strawberries are doing I'm not much of a strawberry expert, and I do get strawberries out of it, but not that many. Acorn squash is growing really well. You can see in there, I got some squash growing everywhere in there. I think altogether I got 28 or 29 squash growing. Artichokes are doing really good. They really busted out. See, a bunch of acorn squash growing in this one. You can just make them out in there. That one's got acorn squash on it. Artichoke, acorn squash, artichoke. Now, as I said in a previous video, that I thought my sweet corn was going to be stunted. And it is. I mean, look at it. It's only just over 4 feet tall. It tasseled out, but it's growing sweet corn. I don't know how well the sweet corn is. I've been spraying it with spinosad every few days. Try to keep the worms out of it, or to a minimum anyway. But some of these corn stalks are growing 3, 4, maybe even 5 ears of corn. not heard of that before. See, look at this. It's got 1, 2, 3, 4. I haven't seen that before. This is the first one to develop ears. This one here is 2. It's filling out real nice. Anyway, that's update the no dig.